G'day guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are talking about the dumbbell Bulgarian split squat. Fantastic exercise to grow some booty and also grow some really good strong unilateral legs, i.e. being able to use one leg just as efficiently as the other. A really good way to eradicate those imbalances that you might have. So one leg might be stronger than the other. Fantastic exercise to go about evening them out. Right, so today, what is it that we want to firstly address when it comes to the dumbbells? Personally, because of the fact that the way the dumbbells sit, so you might find that you might scale straight up pretty heavily when it comes to the dumbbells. There are a few issues at play. So one will be the positioning of the dumbbells, and depending on how strong you are through the legs, your dumbbells might get wider and wider and wider, and all of a sudden you might find yourself tilted over and all those types of issues. Number two is your hand grip for the dumbbells might supersede might go before your leg strength. So your leg strength might supersede your hand strength, which makes sense because, you know, we have forearms to grip things and we have all this big ass leg to move the weight. So what tends to happen is that the weight tends to overcome the hands and they slip out. So the use of things like chalk and also straps become heavily dependent upon. It's at that point that I would suggest to you that you move to the barbell and be able to just load yourself up so the barbell sits on nice and comfortably. You keep a nice, strong, tall torso, and we'll talk about that in a minute as to why we want to make sure that we keep our nice, tall torso, and it just sets you up a lot better. Now, that being said, dumbbells are just as effective and just as good, especially for things like drop sets and the ability to sort of drop and go, so without having to re-rack, dis-rack, go again. So that is one good benefit that the dumbbells have. Now, let's talk about how we want to set this up. So with a Bulgarian split squat, it's very much like our dumbbell lunge, and that what we are looking to create are right angles. Okay, so we don't want to be in a position where this knee is too far forward, and this is the reason why the dumbbells can cause a bit of havoc, is that if you're coming down with a dumbbell, you might find yourself right up and over our knee, which isn't that bad if you have the mobility in order to do that. But what we find is that people tend to lack a little bit of mobility, so they start to get issues through the fronts of their knees. And also you might find that your ankle might raise off the ground because of lack of mobility through these joints. So by tilting forward, not only are you starting to put unwanted stress on joints rather than muscle, you will also have to counterweight that on the way back up through your back. So you're going to have to sort of rake back first and then stand up tall. So this is where we want to make sure that when we are doing this is that we're keeping a nice, strong, tall torso, but on top of that, we are traveling in right angles with our body. So we want a right angle here and also a right angle at the back leg as well. Now you can see, especially you can see that if I'm shoulder blades back and down, keeping a nice tall torso, that the inside dumbbell may become a bit of a problem if I start grabbing, say, the bigger dumbbells, where if you're coming down, not only do you have width on the outside of the dumbbell, so where the dumbbell travels, but rather also the width of the dumbbell coming backwards. So look, a great example of is this. So say you're strong enough for the 27s, you can see how much more thicker both this way and obviously the other way this dumbbell is versus, say, the 2.5s that I have rocking here. So you can see how this can become an issue later on down the track when you get a bit stronger and a bit better at these exercises. Okay, that being said, so what we are looking to do, we're going to grab a hold of the dumbbells. Now again, you can grab a hold of chalk, grab or use wrist straps in order to hold on to these. That's perfectly acceptable. Okay. When we're coming down, we're looking to create right angles, and we're also looking to screw our feet in just like we would any other leg exercise. So we're looking to create our 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact are 1 and 2 in line with the big toe and the pinky toe. So where you feel it when you do a calf press, there are your first 2 points, and then if you rock back onto your heels, that there is point 3. What we're looking to do is screw our feet in, so point 2 in line with your pinky toe is going to feel like it's connected to point 3, and you can have your weight transferring to the outside of your foot. You're then going to think about taking the inside of your knee to the outsides of your toe. So you're going to come down, you're going to screw your foot in, shoulder blades back and down, knee's going to go out towards the pinky toe, and we're going to create right angles. Now remember, don't shift too far forward, shoulder blades back and down, stand up tall, drive up through that leg. Okay, when we drive up through that leg, we're going to push our hips through, squeeze your butt. Okay, again, down, right angles, tall body, up, through with the butt. Now, through the butt. Okay, and this is how you want to go about doing your Bulgarian dumbbell split squat team. I hope that you have picked something up. If you find that the dumbbells are a bit too awkward, then move to the barbell straight away. It's perfectly acceptable, but this is a fantastic option when it comes to doing your Bulgarian split squats. What you potentially could do, if you really wanted to, is potentially use one dumbbell, one really heavy dumbbell, and maybe a guide with your other hand. So say a common use is running the hand along, say, a stationary machine, or hold a pole just in front of you. So if you hold the pole just here, and then you have the big heavy dumbbell, you can sort of work in that range like so. But again, if you're going to all these extremes, I would suggest using the barbell. As you could probably notice, I'm a big fan of the barbell. But yes, again, dumbbell, perfectly good option, really good starting point. If you use this exercise not as a major mover, but potentially a later exercise, then you could get away with going obviously a lot lighter, because hopefully your legs are a little bit smoked by the time you arrive to this particular exercise. So that's where the dumbbells could come in handy, is that they're quick, accessible. But yeah, that there, team, is how you want to go about doing your dumbbell Bulgarian split squat.